want a blue bunny, and I also want a tricycle. And we all just so fucking dead in our he did like his biggest baby voice he could to represent. Look, I'm a child, and I'm asking Santa for my wish. And he kind of like sat on your lap a little, and it was just fucking awful. We all want to wish death upon ourselves and him. It was a hideous experience. That was not okay. It was
That's
not
why Max rear-ended the car in front of him.
Yes.
He drove Max to drink and drive.
And then he went and saw Where's Brett.
What's going on with that life, man? I never felt more normal in my life than around that guy.
That whole show, the more I think about it.
But he was such a... He did like Ibsen plays in the park.
He was
those
brilliant.
sitcom scripts supposed to look like graffiti on a bathroom wall to him.
That's what absolutely.
Written in crayon.
But he took them terribly seriously.
This is the father from Alf for the listeners.
But he was also
famously
a stage actor.
Got fired from Alf, or got suspended from Alf because he got caught all coked up beating up the puppet. I guess
I didn't know this.
He's just like this brilliant guy, and every week the puppet gets over on him. You're bald, buddy. And like, and he has to he gets outwitted by the puppet. And he was smoking and shooting cocaine, and he supposedly they caught him beating the fuck out of Alf, the puppet, in the prop room, and they had to be he had to be restrained. They sent him to the psych ward. He was off the show for like 3 months.
What's a psych ward like? Walk us. That's a
riot.
I've been to 4 of them now, and I just like
just like
3. You gotta go mandatory 72 hours ago. Well, I played Scrabble in a psych ward. I've told this story before, like briefly, but it's I played Scrabble. It was an 80-pound. There were 3 people in the Scrabble game. An 80-pound woman who was like a meth head, and this 400-pound guy who was on methadone and Thorazine. He hadn't gotten his medication yet, so I'm like keeping score, which means it's already a horrible Scrabble game. I was the scorekeeper. So the guy went third, who we were all scared of.
She just keeps saying 5.
Well, when the big guy went, that we were all sort of scared of, there's an open G. And he just puts an M and an R next to the G. It's a GMR. And I was like, who cares? I was like, let's add it up. Great word. What are the meth head woman starts going, that's not a word. Like, she wants to argue with the guy. And I feel like going, really? Is this your cause in life? Like, we're in a psych ward playing fucking Scrabble. It's over, honey. Right now in our world that we've created, GMR's a word. So she starts fighting with the guy, and the guy claimed it was an abbreviation, which you can't use. And I just said, well, let's just add it up. It's an abbreviation. And the woman said, what's an abbreviation for? Like, really mad. And the guy said, it's the abbreviation for game room. And I said, and maybe it is, And fucking guards had to come over and break the 2 up. Like, I was in the middle of this crazy Scrabble argument in a psych ward.
Who won the game?
Well, I would give it to him, but it got broken up before the 3rd move. Another guy thought I was Jimmy Kimmel, swore I was Jimmy Kimmel, was telling everybody on the floor I was Jimmy
brother?
Kimmel. Yeah.
Hey, that's Jimmy Kimmel, man.
That's what he kept saying.
Oh,
and he was a huge guy. Jimmy Kimmel, man. And after correcting him 3 times, I just let him think it.
Oh, it's better to
what the fuck? I was like, I don't care.
Oh, that's Bob Sugars.
Yeah. My shower wasn't working, and I was creeped out by it, so they took me to a special shower, like in the side, like where the employees shower sometimes. And this guy saw it and goes,
we have a special
Jimmy's in the fucking celebrity shower. Jimmy Kimmel ain't showering with us, motherfucker. You know where it's at, Jimmy. You go shower. You go shower where the rich motherfuckers shower. Don't shower with us. Don't get mad at him.
I like how you had your imaginary back. Like, don't fuck with Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, no, that's what he was
I love this guy. Like, I want to meet this guy.
Well, then he made me put my hand on the Koran. He goes,
all right, maybe I don't need to meet him right away.
He goes,
let me finish,
come in my room. Come in my room.
You will eventually.
And he goes, put your hand on the Bible. And I put my hand on the Bible. He goes, now close your eyes and pray with me for 30 seconds. So I close my eyes. And for 30 seconds, he just prays. And then he goes, I'll see you in heaven, Jimmy.
I think you say, close your eyes and pray with me, and then you close your eyes, and 15 seconds in, you hear him unzip his pants.
Believe me, I had one eye open.
He had a brown one.
Yeah.
Ugh, I've turned into Jim Norton. That was such a Norton one-liner. No, yeah. God damn, he's funny.
Yes, he is.
Quick as hell, that little Jimmy. So how do you go from Norm? I guess what's the short form of getting Howard Stern?
Well, I'd been on the show a couple times with Norm to promote stuff, and I told the first time I went on Howard with Norm. 1972 group.
All right.
I tell everybody that I might go on the Stern Show because I'm going in with Norm, and Norm said, "Hey man, I'll call you into the show." And so he calls me in, and I'm sitting down, and Gary's putting the headsets on me. And Norm, as I'm sitting down, says to Howard on the air, he goes, "Hey, Howard, you're like Artie. He got kicked off of Mad TV because of cocaine." It just totally threw me. And Howard's eyes darted to me, and I told a story about getting arrested for coke, and I was in L.A. County for a week and everything, and Howard loved it. So he said, "Well, come back next time with Norm." So I went in there like 3 times to promote the show with him, and I just always told stories that he liked. So it's just funny. It was all timing. Our show got canceled. I moved back here. And Jackie left the show like 2 months before that happened. So they were having guys sit in the chair. And when I sat in the chair, he already knew me. And after a few months, I got the gig.
What other guys sat in the chair? I remember this process.
They had
everybody was good.
Yeah, they Rogan sat in a few times. Not everybody necessarily wanted the job, which helped, but because they had
that does help.
But like Chappelle was doing it, and there was no way Chappelle was going to do because you had to be willing to do those hours.
I gotta get up early in the morning, Howard.
Man, I ain't doing that shit.
Man.
So
I cracked the code of Dave Chappelle's stand-up. Every once in a while, for no reason, one of my punchlines come out in a white voice.
Right, he does.
It don't make any sense at all. There's a crack dealing baby. Well, what would you like?
I just love how like 50 black comedians have just ripped that off from Richard Pryor, and no one just points it out. Like Richard Pryor did the white voice.
Yeah.
Didn't he do that white voice? That exactly.
No, Romeo Cornell's doing it. I figured I'd bring it back to a sports show.
Meet him?
Oh yeah. Well, I believe Richard Pryor's last TV appearance of all time was the Norm Show.
And then Max
I'm
rear-ended him on the 405.
He
was in a hover round.
But do you remember what his gal was saying to him?
Yeah, like there was a girl with him, a woman
and
who
she
said,
was like, "Get massaging. You're gonna have a martini and
we'll get you a martini and a woman,
hooker when you get home, baby."
Yeah, if you can get through these lines. He was like this, Jay. And
then DePaulo had to follow him.
They brought him out, and we're like, he's never going to get through this. Like, they had to be a physical thing that they had a stuntman for, and he just basically sat there.
They had a fight scene for him.
Yeah,
they had Norm and him like punching each other.
There's no way he could have done another TV appearance after that because
I didn't.
It might be his last time ever on television.
I think he was on CSI Miami.
I used the other name.
Yeah.
Bojangles, Artie Lange.
I wasn't going to color it in.
Batman Brothers.
I just left it in ellipses for you. I alley-ooped that shit. Tyson Chandler.
Bam! Bam!
Let me see his list here. Let's see. John Ho. I'm trying to figure out what they're running here. It was like John Ho. Who was the other guy?
It was Kissinger.
Henry Kissinger. Artie Lange. Oh, man, they have the president's ear.
So, like, thank you, fuck you, what, who?
It's on YouTube. It's the funniest thing ever. We played it on the show. And just to hear Caruso in that crazy, over-dramatic voice,
like
they're
Artie.
Gambling. Can you do him?
Ribbon got taken for a ride. Wow! Won't get fooled. And then there's a fan boat.
I know the Who song.
Crocodiles.
The Who song kicks in.
I say on stage, I go, that's white heaven. A detective and the Who.
Yeah.
I go, there's no black equivalent of that. That'd be like if Morgan Freeman solved a crime and they immediately cut to a car wash and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like good old Andy. I guess that's what happens when the driven get taken for a ride. You'd be like, shit, I watched that in a minute.
But it's so like you're right. That I guess won't be fooled again when he does the loud. It's literally the sound of Pete Townsend going to the bank to cash a check. Wow! Billions of dollars.
Everything you lost in
3
gambling
CSIs
goes the other way.
Yeah.
The bookies have to give it back.
The amount of money he's making.
So you and Howard hit it off.
Yeah, and I was on there,
Those hours are murder, right?
Well, every one of my friends called me. I'm going, congratulations, I give you 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
But at the time, I was in a healthy space, as healthy as I could be. And I lasted over 8.5 years doing that full time. But the last couple were, I gave myself a road schedule that nobody could basically do without some sort of enhancement on some level. I got addicted to the money. You get offered, this from stand-up. You get offered fucking more money than your old man made in a year to go to St. Louis, and then you got to come back The problem was I had to go from having like a paper route during the week in the morning to being totally nocturnal. And then if I do those 3 weekends in a row, you Phoenix, Detroit, St. Louis, then I don't know which way I was going, coming and fucking leaving. I was just, where hotels out, literally that cliche of forgetting where you are on stage. And I started taking opiates to deal with it. And
which ones?
Well, I started with Vicodin and painkillers and shit, and then I went to like codeine, and then I got this guy at a club. I told him I need 100 Vicodin. Like one of these comedy club managers, just do anything to get you on stage, and I was like going through withdrawals. So he goes, "What do you need?" I go, "Get me like 100 Vicodin if you can. Just take it out of my check." And he goes, "How many are you taking a day?" And I said, "Sometimes I take like 30 a day." And he goes, "You know what you should do? You should do heroin. It's better for your liver." That's what he actually said to me. I said, "Thank you, doctor." So he got me a couple of dime bags of heroin, and I went back. Exactly. Jesus Christ. You're not too far off. So I went back to the Hawthorne Suites. And I did a couple of fucking lines of heroin, and man, when
was that the first time you did it?
I had done it in the 90s coming down from Coke once in an after-hours club, but I couldn't count that. Because Coke was my thing for a while. But now I was less social. Now I was just becoming, I like to call it depression without genius. I was sitting in a room alone, but I couldn't write like Edgar Allan Poe.
It's like a depressed genius without the genius.
Right, exactly. Just the depression. So, but when I did those 2 lines, I know my personality. My head hit the pillow. I said out loud, "I'm in trouble." It was fucking just euphoria. I said, "I'm in trouble," and I chased it.
You did 2 lines of heroin, and then said out loud, "I'm in trouble."
I'm in trouble, and I chased it for 6 years. It became a full-time job, getting the money, trying to hide money that you're going to use to get it, not getting arrested or fucking killed when you get it. Finding a place to do it, and then completely isolating because it's not like Coke or whatever where it's a social drug.
Go outside and have a cigarette.
Yeah, right, exactly. You just want to fucking, it's like you're by yourself.
You can smoke if you want. That's the thing with drugs that people don't understand. It's only fun for like the first 16 years.
Yeah.
It's only that last month and a half.
Then you realize,
this isn't so much fun anymore.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, Howard, for some reason, really fucking has a hard-on for me. Hates
Why?
me.
What happened?
Nothing, ever. That's the thing that makes it confounding to me. I don't know. It's like some YouTube... Like, I know things about Jay Mohr that'll ruin his career, Robin. That's
he says that?
Yeah. Just leave it closed because it'll make too much noise. Yeah. I'll listen to him.
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what happened? I was at the MTV Awards and they were there.
Yeah.
And it's Howard was at the MTV Awards.
Well, Gary always tells that story on the air.
And I was outside the circle, kind of looking in, like hoping Gary will look up and go, "Hey, Jay Mohr, like have a seat."
Right. Well, I always said to Gary about that show. I said, "Well, it sounds like he was being very respectful. Like he was like he's a fan, and Yeah.
Hopefully we'll make eye contact and you'll call me over.
Right,
I was like a fat kid outside the bakery, like, please.
I've been there.
And I don't know. And I remember him speaking. I remember listening to his show and him going, "What am I talking about Jay Mohr about? Who cares? Who cares?"
But that's almost like getting insulted by Rickles when Howard says that. Like I can remember the first time like there was a honeymoon period on the air where Howard never fucked with me because he was giving me time. Everything was great. Artie's great, blah blah. And then that first day where you get fucked with, it's like, okay, now I'm really in the crew a little bit, But no, I mean I never really heard anything.
It never bothered me. It always just confused me because nothing ever went the other way.
Yeah, well, it makes you think that
I know things about Jay Mohr that'll ruin his career.
But it makes you think somebody out there is talking about you to him because, and then that would aggravate the fuck out of me because you're talking about a powerful guy.
She asked me, like, does he know? I'll go, I don't know anything that could hurt my career.
I hate when people say that about me, too, because I could have forgotten shit. I'm like, what happened? Like, what did I do, Someone once told me that, Darren Aronofsky, the guy who directed Pi and Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan of his. He was doing The Wrestler, and I auditioned for it. I went to three callbacks, and there was a small part of like a promoter. But I really wanted to kind of work with the guy just to see what it was like.
Of course.
And at the last second, he told me I had it, and then he called me and said I don't have it. I didn't have the part. So I told the story on the air, and my buddy who I was on Mad TV with, this kid David Herman, real talented kid, he goes, a friend of mine seems to remember being in L.A. back in '95, and you got into a fight with Darren Aronofsky at a bar, and you kept calling him a film school fag, and you kept smacking him on the head like Benny Hill or something. I I said, get out of here. He goes, maybe he's just getting back at you because that happens in show business. Like, he's wanted to let you think you had the part and then just took it out from you. I said, I don't. And then Aronofsky came on the Stern Show and goes, I guarantee you your friend's fucking with you because I would remember that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but the fact that well, that's what I mean. But the fact